Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the GE sharing session organized by the General Education Office of Hong Kong Baptist University today. I'm today's MC, Kelvin Lau from General Education Office. And please be reminded that the session is being recorded and we will share the recording video later on the GE website. If you have not registered on the CHTL platform and want to get notification when the video is ready, please leave your email in the chat box. My colleagues will collect them and will send you the email to notify you when the video is ready. And during our speaker presentation, you can also leave your questions in the chat box and I will collect them and will be shared with the floor in the Q&A session. Today's topic is in conversation with exemplary GE instructors, fostering social and entrepreneurial innovation through art and technology. Before diving into this, let's do some warm-up exercise. Here, we are posting a couple of relevant questions in Mentimeter and would like to invite your responses. Please scan this QR code and go to Mentimeter, then you will see the question. If you don't have the mobile with you right now, please go to menti.com and input the number under the QR code, then you will land the same page. So maybe our colleagues, please put the menti.com in the chat box so that our audience can copy and paste it on the browser. So the first question is dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's take more time to scan the QR code. Okay, the first question is, what kind of digital teaching tools strategy have you used in your class? Please feel free to write your ideas in the boxes below. Thank you. Okay, right now, very quick, we are going to see the answer in real time. All right. We got Zoom, Mentimeter, Padlet, Kahoot, Moodle. Yeah, they all are the common names that we have come across these years. Yeah, I think they have become very popular since the pandemic. So any more? So, okay, more people on Mentimeter? And Google Docs as well, yeah. So I think they all are the familiar link we have been in touch these years. And let's see if our speaker will have some more new gadget or links that to share with us during their presentation. So maybe right now, we are going to the second questions. So what kind of skills should students learn to develop an innovative mindset? Again, you may punch in your ideas into the boxes below, with description in each box maybe. So let's see what our audience have in their mind in order to develop students with the innovative mindset. Okay, AI, statistics. Yeah, it's a bit surprised to learn that statistic here, but I do agree that, yeah, we have to rely on numbers when illustrating or materializing our innovative idea. So it may be an important skills as well. So social media, open-minded, yes, interpersonal skills, problem analysis, AI seems to be staying at the center. So it seems like nowadays AI is really, really important. So what's more, creative thinking, responsiveness, communication skills. Yeah. So I think it can be categorized into some major categories. One is technology, another one is the interpersonal communication and team skills, and some creative mindset, and also the open, being open. All right. So I hope this little mental workout will help you get ready for today's sharing session. topic we are going to discuss. Now, let me pass the time to Director of General Education, Professor Chiu Sung Nok, to introduce today's topics and our honorable speakers. Professor Chiu, please.
Thank you, Kelvin, and good afternoon, students, colleagues, and friends. Welcome to these GE sharing sessions. Many instructors have already experimented with digital teaching and learning strategies in their GE courses, and some of them have also cultivated students' creative mindset with technology. However, the path of implementing such innovative teaching methods is still full of challenges. Luckily, our GE Teaching Award recipients this year are experts in these areas. Today, they are going to share their stories based on the GE courses they taught to demonstrate how to integrate virtual and digital elements into GE art subjects to influence students and the community, and how to nurture innovative entrepreneurships in GE, and also show us the benefits of GE Peer Support Buddy Program in the delivery of GE courses. Our first speaker is Ms. Janet Fong from the Academy of Visual Arts. Her outstanding teaching approach with technology in her GE Capstone course and dedication to meaningful community engagement have earned her the GE Teaching Award this year. Our second speaker is Ms. Anna Qin, also from the Academy of Visual Arts. She is acknowledged by the GE Teaching Award panel as an honorable mention this year because of the creative and inspiring pedagogies she employed in her GE Level 2 interdisciplinary thematic courses. She is also our active GE buddy. Now, let's listen to their stories on how to innovate GE art subjects for creating community impacts and enlightening students. Now, first, let's invite Janet to share her teaching strategies with us. Janet, please.
Hi, thank you so much, Professor Chiu and Kelvin, to introduce to me and about this sharing. And today is really my pleasure to, well, definitely to be able to be awarded from GE as the GE Teaching Awardee. And today I would like to share some of my previous experiences about when I was teaching in the GE courses of art and the community in particular. So maybe now I could firstly share my screen. And okay, so if you I suppose that you can see my screen, right? So if there's any problem, just please let me know to see my PPT. So first of all, certainly I would like to have some introduction about my background, because that really affecting me on the methodologies, the way that how I teach or how I share some experiences through the Hong Kong art scene and the community art partners with our students. Because I joined GU since 2020 as the research assistant professor on curating, because I has been to an independent curator and also have been working for different museums for over 20 years before I joined BU. And that's why I also got quite many experiences on curating exhibitions and some networking with the NGO and the museums. So after I knew that I can teach this course, I feel so excited about emerging my experiences in my courses as well. And so now I would also like to share some of my teaching philosophy. That is certainly, I would like to nurture the student-centered learning environment, and with more learning materials that hope can inspire students to become the change makers in their community. And also wish to have more diverse learning needs and maximize students' learning experiences through my lessons, and hope that to use my pedagogy emphasis a cycle of discovery, action, and reflection, because I think, exploring by the students themselves and then implementing the projects with the students themselves, and also to see some of the issues after their implementation that they can be improved. That would be a very good process of learning. So, and certainly emphasize sustainability between the art community or the community with the students, that hope that could also have some long-term relationship can be developed. Well, luckily, after these few years teaching, a few of my students, they did have some longer relationship with some community partners. That really is quite a graceful news hearing from my students. Okay, and well, it's also so great that we can get some funding from the GE office. So since the 2021, I already applied the funding from GE office, and that really helped us a lot on like making those digital teaching and learning methodologies. Also can have more opportunities to let the students collaborate with me in the entire courses during the like the development process or the research or the teaching process. That really helped us to really integrate with more experience with the students and me that we can share. And at the same time, as I mentioned, because of my background, I tried to collaborate with especially art museums or art organizations or some art groups as the community resources, and with some art spaces support as well, because during this course with our final group assignments, sometimes we will have exhibition as well, and also community art project. But for details, I will just share with you, later. So because of the support of the funding, so we got really more resources that, for example, we can arrange some shuttle bus for some children to our to the exhibition space, so that the students from BU in our course, they can serve those children in the exhibition space with their community art projects, etc., etc. So as you can see that we have collaborated with Hong Kong Museum of Art. This year we have been working with Hong Kong Palace Museum, and for some of the guest speakers, I also invited curators from M+, art organization, that they also have some art practitioners to discuss with us about their experiences. And also for some of the service users, we invited also different NGO like YMCA, Lok Sin Tong as well, to hope that to maximize the pedagogic effectiveness by putting knowledge into action in context through the semester with this invaluable hands-on experience with those organizations. And yeah, because of the collaboration with different organizations, certainly we got some guest speakers sharing, including like the Learning and Engagement Department from M+, Gigi, and then Art in Hospital. They are also very good in collaborating with the hospitals, different kinds of hospitals, with their patients. And also the managers in Art Together. Art Together is also used to be the organizations for particularly community arts. And Monty Lai as well. She's an environmental artist, but she's also working a lot of community art projects with the public. Like before the, like in the the blank area of West Kowloon, when the M+ do not yet set up, so they did a lot of community art projects there at that time. So the students also can see the previous experiences from those expertise in community arts. And I also hope that to build up a bridge for the students to maybe equip them those knowledge relevant to the industries for their future possible careers as well. And there are some of the deliverables, and some of the deliverables online or in the physical, in the virtual space. For example, we also, apart from doing community art projects that I'm going to show you, at the same time, we did some publications previously, and we also put them online as well. And we also set up, because we have the community art, art and the community course from the GE Capstone. So we already set up our first Instagram and Facebook, particularly for this course already. That's why we can have some constant activities showed in a constant online platform. So that is some of the links that we created for, particularly for our project course. So if you're interested, please join us at BU Art Community. That is the name for all the our courses in art and the community. And in the last few years, 2 years, 3 years, we had over 96 students, and the beneficiaries can be over almost 6,000, because some of the projects were also working online with some online audience, including audience from Indonesia, South Korea, Thailand, US, Canada, and in Italy, especially during the pandemic period. And so now I would like to share with you some of my final outcomes with the students, certainly, because and for the online, for the evidence-based materials, sometimes we will have mainly the online workshops, and sometimes they would be the hybrid mode. And during that period of time, because I also got a curated exhibition, a research base that I spent 3 years to undertake research, and then to have 1 year exhibition in the Hong Kong Museum of Art about Hong Kong art in the 80s and 90s. So I also tried to connect this exhibition about Hong Kong art in the 80s and 90s to our students in the course. So firstly, certainly I brought them to, as a field trip to show them the exhibition, and then to have some guided tour for them, so that during the course, they start to undertake research, and then to develop their ideas, and some of the outcome can be seen here. And you can see that in the exhibition, the students tried to invite museum visitors to work with them on their own community art projects. So you can see, there are like around 5 to 6 community art projects has been made at the same time. So you can see some of the students trying to ask museum visitors to join, like the puzzle, and then with some photo album sharing with the collage. And, the museum also allowed our students to do some exhibition in the art space. And actually those photographs that you can see here is not made by the students, but by the online audience, because they try to collect and to invite online audience to join their community art projects. And then, you know, at last they print out all the photographs provided by the online audience, and then with the theme that they've developed, and then to show it in our museum for, you know, 1 or 2 days, something like that. And that is another project from another group of students. And for each of the community art projects, that would be around 5 to 6 students to develop together. That is the show that I curated, and during that 1 year, that's why I can ask our students to join to see the show and then to do the community art projects in the museum. Yeah, that is some example of this show. And that is another deliverable, which is about the publication. And I will explain a little bit more about some of the projects in this sharing. So because we try to have the process, reflection, outcome, development. So we tried to put all this into, and then to make the whole year's projects around 11 projects at the same time, in different periods of time, and then to put them into a publication. And then we try to print the hard copies as well as the online issue. So that is some of the dissemination here that you can find, like issue about this project, the publication. Also the design, the entire design was also designed by the students as well in the course as our partners to help organizing the core poster, because there are 6 different projects, so they need to make the core image and the core poster and the publication design together with our students partners as the production team, design team. And also we have marketing team in our students as partner scheme. That's why we have the IG post from time to time during the course and afterwards as well. And for some of the projects like this one, they started to use the Instagram filter as the augmented reality. So students start to develop their ideas, you know, from the exhibition about Hong Kong Hong Kong art in the 80s and 90s. And then they find that they're interested in Wang Gawei's film. So they start to develop their community art projects as the final group assignments, and to, you know, crop some of the images from the Wang Kawei films, and then to try to interact with the online audience, you know, so they also set up their own IG IG account, so that they can share those outcomes provided from the online audience as well. So certainly there are more details, but today I would like to share with you an online exhibition, like a video about that final outcome. Sorry. Here. Yeah, very quickly. Can you see that? You can see that, right? Okay. BBB is the old style BB machine, the BB gate in the 80s and 90s. That is the communication skills sound. That is one of the projects, some MC asking the online audience about some questions about Hong Kong culture in the 80s and 90s. That is about using the voice to become the visual art. So also interact with the online audience.
或者你一邊看香港，你想對香港留低一句什麼説話？
即使我哋唔係做同一樣嘢，親愛嘅香港，我唔會做人哋踏過嘅情緒嘅錯誤。
加油啦！
That is all the visual art after all the audience left the voice to our team, and then they try to make them the postcard as the visual postcard from their voice. So that is some kids, like healing kids with the songs from Hong Kong in the 80s and 90s. There's some color feeling with the online audience as well that they sent to the audience. That was the Instagram filter that I just mentioned with the Wang Jiawei's film, and then using some cropped image. Okay. So, yeah, maybe now. And I can continue because there's some more want to share. That's the one last year that our surface users for the 31 BU students are all children. So we had invited over 60 children for the 6 community art projects in H Art in Kennedy Town at that time. So there, like for example, I will show you some 1 minute on an exhibition that made by the students themselves as well. That each of them tried to use different art activities or visual art practices or design practices to work with particularly the children from 4 to 10 years old this time in 2023. So and I will show you some of them, like 3 of them, and each of them only 1 minute that I limit to them to make a very short video. But it's good to have this kind of online exhibition to share with more audiences even after the workshop. And that one is mainly those students are from the Department of Music. And this one, there are students from Mexico, the Philippines. So they at last tried to use the street games in 3 different places in Hong Kong, from Hong Kong, Mexico, and the Philippines, and then to play with the kids at that time. So most of the projects last around 30 minutes. And for this one is from, well, some of them are from the marketing department, and they also did very good art projects with us in our course. And yeah, that is the Chinese calligraphy program. So let me show you how some of the online exhibition here, because we also already put them and post them on YouTube, and we can share like 2 or 3 of them, just 1 minute for each, so you can see it clearly. So the students try to first of all, actually, they did the guided tour with the kids first to bring them knowing about Kennedy Town. And then they start to take some photographs and then to leave some photos, and then with the plants, and then to make their own cyanotype cyanotype are like lam sai, just like photogram. You can see what is it. So we ask the children to do their own cyanotype. And then not only doing their own cyanotype artwork, they also try to encourage those children to do some collaborative work, as you saw here. So that is the collaborative work from all the students. So they did individual works, but at the same time with some individual and collaborative works at the same time during their community art projects execution. And second one, that is about their ideas of a city, like from the students. First of all, those our BU students, they start to help preparing materials for the children, and then to have some introduction about Kennedy Town, because this art center is right at Kennedy Town. So the community art project was trying to be more site-specific to develop their art projects. And that is the, and yeah, that is, sorry. Sorry. So maybe I will show you, I hope to show you the last one as well. Sorry, why I can't see the sixth and the, well, here, sorry. This one. Yeah, that is the one that I mentioned, the street games, so that the kids played so well with the Mexican game, street game, and the Philippine street game at the preparation time with students.
Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom and open, we'll meet again. Boom, ding dong, ding dong, a lang, a lang, a lang. Oh, 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 bip, a bip, a dip. Oh, life could be a dream. If only all my precious plans would come true. If you would let me spend my whole life loving you, life could be a dream, sweetheart. Every time I look at you, something is on my mind. If you do what I want you to,
That's some street games.
oh, life could be a dream. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom, tell me, darling, I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Do, 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 shaboom.
So that's it. Yeah, if you're interested, please can add and follow our YouTube. And well,
Hello，大家好，我是小白。这个
哎
影片要介绍的是
哎
Unity。
sorry. Let me... Okay, so for the last section, very quickly, because we are still developing. First of all, I really appreciate the time when I had the interview with our GE colleagues and other guests during the time when I introduced my projects. Because I remember one colleague from GE office, they suggested me to have the hybrid mode by using more like physical participations and even more hybrid, more virtual digital tools. Not because previously I will one semester I will use the digital tools. One semester I will use more for the physical participations. But before that, I have had never the experiences to combine the physical and the virtual learning more immersively. So after our GE colleagues' good suggestion, I do try to apply a little bit more this year in 2024. So first of all, I also got the collaboration with Hong Kong Palace Museum. So we have first is a field trip about an exhibition of art and technology, and about Chinese garden art with Hong Kong artists. And so we invited the guest curator to have the guided tour for our students. And also because as previously, we tried to have all the community art projects to be held, to be conducted in the exhibition space. But at the same time, I tried to encourage the students to also do some projects with the virtual space as well. So at the same time, this time I added one more lesson that inviting a debriefing instructor from Central Academy of Fine Arts, Beijing. He's actually a Hong Kong people, Michael Chan, but he's been teaching digital tools and design for over 20 years in CAFA. So I invited him to have some introduction about the digital tools that I hope our students can apply for it in their research, development, or implementation process of their own final group assignments. So this one is tried to help them easily use those augmented reality. The easier program is Instagram filter. So they spend one lesson, they already can make their own AR, as you saw here. And actually now we are still developing. We are still developing the community art project with the students. But we already knew that after the tutorials with them, that because I still want to have the student-centered learning and experimental environment with digital tools and public interactions with this exhibition. And so, for example, on the left-hand side, you can see the students already showed me some examples about the metaverse of Chinese garden arts that they are going to create by themselves. And then they are going to show them with the computer in the exhibition space, as well as on the online space as well, like the social media. And some of the students, they will try to make their own augmented object with this augmented digital tools during their community art projects in the exhibition. So they will share this as part of the implementation process in their final group assignments. So thank you. That's all for my sharing today. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Janet.
Thank
So
you.
before we have our Q&A session, perhaps let's have our second speaker, Anna, who will talk about how to empower students to become social innovators and talk about her GE buddy story. Anna, please.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Professor Chu, for introducing. And also thank you for the GE office and the colleagues for inviting to the sharing. So please allow me to share my screen. Okay, so can you all see my screen, right? Okay, thank you. So hello everyone. I'm Anna from the Academy of Visual Arts as well. And today I will share my experience in teaching 2 GE courses at level 2. And also through this experience, how we can unite art, technology, and create positive social change. So, some of my previous experience, including the disciplines that I teach, and also I had work experience around the world, such as from the Europe and mainland China. So my first job was in Shenzhen in a design house. So that is also where this journey of entrepreneurship and also innovation starts. So I've got previous training in design making and innovation from my product design course. And later on, I learned about entrepreneurship from the engineering school. So I'll begin with sharing the research-led how do I integrate technology into my GE courses to enhance creative art and design. And also specifically talk about two of the courses, which is creative entrepreneurship and sustainable design thinking, and how it relates to 21st century competencies. So I'll also share about the most exciting part, the benefits from the buddy program. Okay, so I have 3 roles in BU. So a little bit later than Janet, I joined AVA in 2021, which is also during COVID. So previously I've been a designer, and after joining BU, I became a researcher and also educator. So I've been thinking about, how can I use my previous experience in industry and also my own disciplines. So I have this sort of centric models in user-centered design. So I cover disciplines from art, science, and also businesses. So this is also my teaching philosophy that I wish to nurture my students to be future leaders in critical thinking and also to tackle the evolving needs of the industry and society. So again, some of my streams in my research and teaching, including innovative technology collaborations, healthcare and wellness on the go in particular. That is also my very specific discipline in design that I designed for healthcare, especially medical equipment. And also share some of my previous experience in startups in Hong Kong. So I wish in my classes to encourage my students to keep searching for the work or the sort of ideas that they love, and hopefully they will keep developing these innovative ideas after their graduation. So I also talk about ideas of creativities for innovation, such as the 4P methods. And looking at the entire cultural industry. So we have a couple of domains that are specifically for creative industries. But in the model of GE education, which is similar to this, we have our related domains. So this is also the beauty of the mix of students that are joining our courses. So previously students from PE, we have students from biology or the sciences, computer sciences, and faculty of arts, and of course our own students from AVA. So I encourage them to form into a more variety of disciplines in group projects. And we also have a large amount of students from marketing and business school. So in my courses, I introduce ideas of innovation and the evolution of industrial revolutions, because I encourage the students to follow this sort of trends in the real world situation. So now that we're in the Industrial 5.0, so we should learn new platforms, new technologies, and how can we innovate for our future. Okay, so some ideas about from idea to product, and to make this positive change, basically. So in productization, it's a big topic, but from the perspective of product design, I simplified it into 3 sections for my students, which they have to oversee the professional requirements, some business aspects, and also design aspects. And these are being taught separately with separate focuses in 2 of my courses that I will be introducing in detail later. And just to summarize the first part on the interdisciplinary process, in design and design objects that I teach in particular, so I would categorize them into a culture-based or technology-based. So you can see that there are a lot of related concepts and knowledge in this process as well. So as some of my entrepreneurial experience, so I started my first company in 2016 with my classmates, and we got the incubation support from the Hong Kong Science and Technology Park. So this is the first experience that I had in Hong Kong, and also until now, I'm still applying for new projects every couple of years with the Science Park, just to keep an eye on the different programs and the platform updates, so I can share the first in first person perspective and experience to my students on the application methods that I will recommend to them, and also to update the GE curriculum as well, just to stay up to date. So this was the first project that we did about support to paralyzed patients. And we did a couple of domestic tools for healing and rehabilitation as well. And I've also got a freelance experience. So I do share these with my students to let them see the different choices, especially from art and design, that you could be freelancing, you could have your own design studio, you can do consultation work, and of course, start your own company and business as startups in Hong Kong. So this is also the current project I'm working on with KTO. And some experience from mainland Shenzhen as well, because the Greater Bay Area has also a lot of opportunities, and it's a big platform for entrepreneurship. So this I presented this in the recent conference on aviation and business at the UST. So this is also example that I will show the students that you need to search for different platforms and related domains that your idea, the original idea, could possibly turn into other business ideas, and also keep up with the trends. And also meeting different collaborators. This is a collaborator that I met in the school from Chinese medicine. So Professor Yu Yuanyuan. So we did a collaboration and designing a tool for injection. Right, so some marketing solutions, and because we also have a lot of students from marketing, and it's also part of our assignment assessment in writing business proposals. So I use my previous branding experience as a case study to let them know how the process of building a brand in Hong Kong will be like. So during COVID, we didn't have much chance to do the interactive that I expect for this course to be in the classroom setting. So I have two versions for all my slides, and there are different ways that I would do these ideation workshop in classroom setting and on Zoom. So eventually I will see the results that reflecting in their course journal, which the students will keep. So I picked out different ideation and innovation exercises from my research, and also using different creative tests to let them to do the warm-up section, and gradually they will kickstart their ideation mind to think about very innovative ideas. So this is also usually where the students start thinking about their group project on innovation. And many of them found this process very interesting. And then it's a very good tool for ice breaking as well. And we used to hear a lot of laughter by the end of the section. And this is also, how exhibition became during COVID. So as a case study for the students, and also as a platform for the students to consider bringing their projects to global platforms, they could bring their projects to virtual environments. And this is Techathon 2022. So just to share with the students on a couple of different platforms that they could apply for. So I often start with a list of opportunities for the year, so the students could follow and see if they're interested too. And there are some platforms that I also keep an eye on, external platforms that I will also bring our students to field trips, to current exhibitions at the CEC. So this is one of those. Internal platforms. So we also are building our own digital tools. This is one example with the library on digital scholarship. So we thought about using these tools to teach students how to do innovative work with this cultural heritage technique. So the students could have a more interesting way in studying different design techniques, because it won't be taught in particular in the GE courses. So if they're interested to top up with some skills, they can do so. And other platforms that we also go on, well, personally, I go on exchanges that are offered by the school, and I brought back the most recent interesting developments that could be related to topics of the two courses that I teach, entrepreneurship and also sustainable design thinking. So this is one of those from the recent development of this interesting material, graphite. And you can see on the right here, it's a painting, Chinese painting, which also produces heat to be used as a heater. So these are some of the interesting case studies I will show our students. So in particular, to nurture their 21st century competencies, we've been looking at the entrepreneurial spirits and ethical citizens. And of course, a lot of thinking processes are embedded in our exercises. So for the courses, what I don't want it to become is to force the students to become entrepreneurs. Okay, but instead, I want to encourage them to have the sort of intrinsic motivation in studying and turning the knowledge that they learn into something that they could create positive changes, whether it's a service, a product, a policy, or just a thought. And that could help them with their future career to have this sort of motivation from thoughts. So the first course, Creative Entrepreneurship. Yes, again, to begin the course, I would give them life polls to ask them their thoughts on entrepreneurship. So I will do the same test with them by the end of the course, see if anything changes in the mindset. And this is the course content. So often I break it into 3 sections. So the first 1 to 2 lectures would be background knowledge, and then a bit more about approaches and methodologies, accompanied by those workshops. And finally, the execution in project development and production. So this is the more breakdown in the course structure. And yes, this is the list that I keep updating for them, so they can have a look at. So this is what our class is like. And we also have activities such as in-class role plays. So they will learn about the structure, the business model of different companies. And we also invite people from the entrepreneurial industries in Hong Kong to talk about the latest development and the startup ecosystem, especially of Hong Kong. So the field trips, 1 year we brought them to the Inner Carnival so they could see the projects of our own teachers and also from other universities and other startups in Overlife. So the students enjoy these sort of the chances to talk to the startup owners, entrepreneurs, just to hear different stories. And this is the final presentation, which we do a demo day. So the students will pitch on the stage, and we have great support from the CISL and their colleagues, especially Nick and Leo, the innovation leads. So they do come to our courses as mentors to mentor student projects. And also we have a triangle to do our final pitch. So the student does enjoy this sort of momentum a lot. And what more is that after their pitching, so of course they need to individually submit a business proposal and they practice how to write it. But they're also connected to CISL and other schemes of our university. So they could carry on if they're interested to carry on with the projects that they initiated. So some of them got very good support and results from this. And sustainable design thinking. I first learned about the idea of sustainability 15 years ago. And this is my teacher, Jane Penty. And on the right there, it was a photo that we were her students in London at that time. So she's also still very active in promoting designing sustainability, and also her recent published book. I think it's a book of her 20 plus years of experience in sustainability. So because sustainability is a very complex and it's a holistic process that covers all these points or even more. And this is also what we learn about product design specifications and the different parameters when we consider sustainable products. So I was trying to think about how could we simplify the process and then to integrate this into the course. So extracting from Jane's book, there are a lot of very nice infographics. So I can gradually simplify this for students to learn about the very basic pillars that are supporting the positive social change. So this is what the course looks like. Again, there's part of basic theories, methods, and also studio practices. And by the end, they will also set up their final pitch and also a mini exhibition. So these are the basic methodology and problem-solving skills that are related to this course. So of course, we start by introducing the design thinking methods and also sustainable development goals. And we also brought the student to learn about materials, because in this course, the prototyping is also a key assessment, and also the skills that I expect them to experience. So I brought them to Material Center so they can see and feel and touch the different upcycled materials, sustainable materials in the collections. And there's also a selection of books, some projects, and also physical products that they can learn from. So this is the most recent projects that came out from the course, and especially the first one, aeroponic vending machine. After a year, the students came back and then they say they really want to bring this idea to life. So they currently successfully applied for the ideation from Science Park as well. So this is our final presentation. And the students also demonstrate with the prototype that they made and demonstrate how the product or service will work. And this is also a student outcome that they do a mock-up. They also learn a lot about the different stakeholders for the project. They're encouraged to generate a lot of ideas through ideation workshops. And also they will do the testing and validation part, surveying. Okay, so these are examples of students' projects. Okay, so the last part, which I like to share, is the peer support buddy program. Yes. And there's also where I met Angela and her team. And this is a really exciting program to me because, well, the first year that I entered BU during COVID, and we had this peer buddy meet up through Zoom. So I was coupled with a teacher called Vienna, and she is, I think, from the language center as well. So she teaches level 3 GCAP about implementation of service learning engagement through Chinese storytelling. So this is also the first time that I heard about the idea of service learning, because I really want to learn about how to let students participate more in interactive activities. So I learned through her videos about how to engage students and how to conduct presentations in fun ways, and also the documentations that she showed me. So this is also very similar to Janet's practice as well, engaging the community. And so I learned about service learning, and this year I first, it's also my first time to really do service learning in some of my courses. So the second year that I was here, I was coupled with Dr. Edmund Tsang from Academy of Music. So I really enjoyed his class because apart from, he was talking about the history of Cantopop, and he uses some of the interesting, he chose a list of interesting songs. And also because I didn't really learn about Chinese history in the past. So he had this very interesting way in storytelling of Chinese histories. So that was very attractive. And basically we still kept in touch now, and then we're collaborating on some projects. So that was also benefited from this program. And most recent one, Dr. Simon Wang, he is someone who's really up to date to technology, to all the pedagogies, knowledge, etc. So in his session, I visited the McChan presentation, and then another colleague from our school, Dr. Jinwei Mu, who's the director of research and strategic planning of our school. So the three of us were doing this feedback and discussion section on the students' proposal about how they can change the different, or propose to different departments of the Hong Kong government to adjust the policies and for again the positive change. So this is also very meaningful and very engaging section. Yes, so this is everything that I've benefited from this program. Yes, so this is all, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
So it's Q&A time. Please feel free to ask your questions in the chat box, or simply unmute yourselves and ask verbally. Perhaps let me ask the first question. When talking about digital technology, I won't be surprised if some students are more innovative and more sophisticated than we instructors are, especially because students in GE courses come from different disciplines. Janet and Anna, do you have any experience that students inspired you in terms of the use of technology in teaching and learning activities and assessment methods?
Yeah, maybe I can share one experience first that I also showed there in 2021. Uh, I just showed that it's my first time to know the Instagram filter, the augmented reality from the students. And that's why at last this year tried to invite the Dr. Michael Chen to whether this is the easiest way for students to just learn one lesson and then they can have, the augmented objects made by themselves. And actually, this like Instagram filter that introduced by our students, it really worked quite well. That they already had those course one lesson only, and they already can make their at least very basic augmented objects by themselves. So I think this is a very uh, good experience for me to learn from students too.
Yes. And for me, I think I have experienced it mainly from the field trips because it's also my first time to see any of those most recent exhibitions or inno expos, etc. So get to see whether which technology is actually the students understand better than I do. And there's also we can have more one-on-one discussions when we stop by each of the booth. So some of the students they actually could understand, such as AI and WhatsApp auto response. They do have a better idea than I do. Yeah. So we often get most of our insights from these field trips, and then we share in the classes as well. Thank you.
Thank you. So just a reminder to GE instructors, if you have any ideas about using students as partners as a part of your pedagogy in GE courses, come to talk to us. Also, if you want to join the buddy program that Anna mentioned, come to talk to us.
Just talk to us.
Yeah, talk me. Don't make any requests, just talk to us. All right, so audience, you have any questions? If you have, just unmute yourselves and ask verbally.
Yeah, so Provincial and Kelvin and Anna and Janet have a question. So, well, actually two questions. One is for Janet and the other one is for Anna. So the one for Janet is that, well, I was actually very amazed and impressed by your profile because you really have very rich experience in curating museums, curating exhibitions for museums and working on exhibitions, working with community partners. And that is why, when you really land on this capstone course, you have a lot of connections with community partners already. So basically, all your connections that you have with the community really match the needs of your course. But what about new teachers? What about new teachers or other teachers who really like to take up a capstone course, but then they might not have so many connections with community partners? How can they start? How can they start approaching the teaching and the delivery of one capstone course? So this is my question for Janet. So maybe you can think about that while I'm asking Anna another question. So my second question is for Anna. So Anna, well, I totally agree with you that when you said during your presentation that teachers cannot force students to be an entrepreneur. But then the thing is, they, of course, they're learning about entrepreneurship in your course. But then what about creativity? What about design thinking? Because this is a requirement of your courses. This is a requirement, and that they really need to exercise a certain level of creativity. But then once again, I don't think you're forcing, you're pushing creativity into them. So instead of pushing them to be creative, how do you think teachers can foster and cultivate creativity, a design thinking, a design mindset within students who might not be born with very high level of creativity? So Janet and Anna, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela, for this meaningful question for some new teachers as well. For me, basically, I got connections at the same time because I would suggest definitely to try to undertake more research that can benefit to your course. For example, like one of the community partners that also collaborated with us previously called HR. Actually, I didn't really know them very well, unlike like Hong Kong Museum of Art or other museum fields. HR actually because of this course, I realized that, oh, maybe I can go there again. If that's why undertaking more research about what you are interested to share with your students, that's quite important. Because for example, for me, I would like at that time, I would like that, oh, maybe, because the first time our target audience and service users are mainly the visitors, like in all ages. But on that semester, I would think that maybe it's good that to have different ages for our students, like specific ages this time. And then I knew HR might do something relating to them, but I'm not familiar with them. So I just go there and approach them. That's I usually do. I like to meet strangers. I like to make some new connections for some new reasons. Like, for some courses, maybe not only for different ages for this time, for some specific age. Then HR suggested me, oh, we got some resources for children. That's why that time I can get those children like within that few months that they can gather like 60 students in total. That is something that I think just to try to approach those new things that may be relating to your content of the courses. Yeah.
To be proactive, to reach out and to be brave, not to be shy, right? Okay, just
that's the same words that I shared with my students too. You need to be proactive and aggressive. Aggressive.
Okay, thanks, Janet. Thanks, Janet. So, Anna, what do you think about creativity and
Thank you so much, Angela. Yeah, it's a very, very good question because the students mainly are not from VA. And a lot of students, they never had this sort of ideation and thinking about how to design a product previously. So the first, after showing different case studies that they might be interested of, so this ideation workshop really helped them to because it's if you look into the details of those mini activities, it's very random. So anyone could easily pick up these activities that these are actually part of the design research. How could we nurture creativity? How could we practice our creative mindset? And sometimes ourselves or even our students would want to use these practices because it's not the usual, not your usual, cognitive thinking or not the usual rational thinking methods. So the students would quickly get engaged into these exercises. And in the end, it's designed to guide them to create something very new and you've never thought about that, never seen it before. So that is part of the course. And also about, the students, they also learn about what is necessary to become an entrepreneur, which is storytelling for business, the pitching part, how to design the pitch deck, and how to formally write a business plan. So some of the students might think this course is a little bit intense, but most of the students, they do enjoy the process, and I could, really see it during the demo day. And I'm also very surprised at the students because they are from different disciplines. they could work together so closely and so well. I think they must have their own way through WhatsApp groups or other platforms, Miro boards that they could keep on track. So this is the natural part of the entrepreneurial spirit training. Yes. So yeah, which yes, I don't meant to force them to
No, of course not.
entrepreneurs, of course. But it's also very satisfying to see how they are building up this sort of collaboration and teamworking skills and very engaged towards the end of the course as well, because for many of them, they also strangers to each other.
I remember you also organized a mini exhibition to kind of, showcase the work of all students at the end of the semester.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
that one.
for the sustainable design.
Yeah, that one, yes.
So in of course, the focus is more about making the prototype and validating the idea. And most of those ideas would be related to social innovation.
All right, thanks, Anna. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Professor Xu. Thank you. Thanks, Janet.
Thank you. So, any other questions?
Yes, hi.
Hey, hello.
Hi. I have a question for all of you. Because recently, according to my experience to visit all these exhibitions, seems like everyone taking art technology to different level. And some of these art exhibitions are intense to using technology as a tool. But then, I don't know if it's a trend or not, but people seems like the exhibition topic itself became art technology. Like technology is the most important thing in the exhibitions instead of using it as a tool. So I'm just curious, like what craftsmen or artists should perceive or like make themselves places in these kind of environments, while we are speaking a lot of things about like art technology, but most of our students are still working on the sculpture, performance, installation, such a things. So I'm just being curious. Sorry.
Maybe I can share some of my thoughts on this. Actually, currently, technology as a kind of medium for us, especially for the art circle, is quite just becoming a trend now, as we said. But I always think that no need to be afraid of it, and no need to really treat it only for a trend. Remember, like 100 years ago, film, like the creation of film, so that there are lots of film coming up to explore and study the methodologies, like the way how to make the use of film, so that then we can really make it as a very natural art medium. So for us, technology is like just like digital tools, is a very new tools for all the artistic practice or design practice as well. In particular, recently, in the last 30 years or 20 years only. So I think, we are just trying, and actually, it is not about the medium anymore. It's about our life. Because now, are we using the computer? After this sharing, will we use the phone to talk with our family? Will you talk with your friends? Or will you see the world from this? So no need to really describe technology is only a kind of medium. Actually, it's part of our life, actually. So we cannot, we cannot deny that is the truth now. So why don't we just try to explore it? I think that's also one of the ways why there are so many art and technology happening nowadays. And I don't think we need to be afraid of it, or we need to, ignore the traditional art practices or all of this. For example, in the coming future, they will have an exhibition in ADC, Art Development Council. They have their own art space. They will be having an exhibition opening. The special thing is all the participating artists, they are not familiar with technology before. They just try to collaborate with technology and the traditional art practices in that specific exhibition. Like Zhou Yufei, our professor in BU as well, he's a writer, a Xian, and then he will use technology as well. Kurt Chen as well, Chinese painting, all this. So I think we can use this perspective to look at technology, but not just one trendy medium instead for myself.
And also from the design point of view, because this is technology and this is also technology. A paper is made by technology. So we sort of looking at the definition of technology. And if you look at all the objects around us, it's made by either low tech or high tech. But how do we define what's low tech and high tech? And also it's like Janet said, it's our present, it's the future as well. So totally agree with Janet. And thanks for the question.
Thank you. Perhaps we can entertain one more question. Anyone? If no, then I pass the floor back to Calvin.
Thank you very much, Janet, Anna, Professor Chiu, and all of you. I trust that same as me, you have learned a lot from their sharing. Now, in closing today's session, I would like to have some latest GE updates with all of you. And before that, I would like to invite you to spend 2 minutes to fill in today's session evaluation survey, a very short one with just a few questions. Please kindly complete it, as your comments are always important and valuable to us to improve and celebrate. While you are filling that, I would like to update the coming up GE event, which is Connect Us, which is to recognize student contribution to innovative solutions to address societal and global problems in general education courses. The next round will be open for submission after this semester finish. There will also be voucher incentive for satisfactory and outstanding student entries. Here, I would like to invite you, if you are a GE instructor, to nominate students to submit their assignment for their competition. And if you are a student, please feel free to submit your assignment to us as well. And you can keep receiving our update by following our Facebook and Instagram. So thank you very much for joining today. I hope you found this session fruitful to you. We all look forward to seeing you again at our future events. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.
Thank you.